Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, I'm Holly. Welcome. I'm happy to have you here. Today I'm sharing with you a really easy recipe. I had some crescent rolls in my refrigerator and I still have a few cans there, so I'm trying to use these up, and I found this recipe and decided this would be a good one to share with you. This is some rotisserie chicken. You need 2 cups shredded, but you can also use, if you have just chicken breasts or any kind of chicken that you want to cook and shred it, you can do that as well. You need milk. I'm using some whole milk, and it will be a can of milk. So once we use that cream of chicken soup, you're just going to pour it into that can, and that's how much milk you'll need. And 1 teaspoon of minced onion, a half a teaspoon of salt, a fourth of a teaspoon of garlic powder, some black pepper. It says a pinch, but I'm just going to sprinkle that on. And a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, 1 cup of mozzarella cheese, 1 can of crescent rolls with 8 rolls in it, and half a block of cream cheese. And I will leave the link down below for the recipe so you can get all the ingredients. And to a bowl, you will add the softened cream cheese. And I usually like to, when I'm going to mix this up with something, just spread it out a little bit. That helps to mix everything together, even though it will be a thick mixture. But first add the chicken. Then add the salt and the garlic powder. The dried onions. And then add some pepper. It called for a pinch of pepper, but we like pepper, so I add a little bit more probably than a pinch. So add what you like. And stir until all the ingredients are well combined. Add the mozzarella cheese and just stir that in. And it will be a thick consistency, but just stir the best that you can. Now once that's done, put that to the side, and in another bowl add the soup, and then add a can of milk. And then you will just stir that until it becomes a smooth, somewhat of a smooth consistency, until the soup is well combined with the milk. Now take the crescent rolls, and you want to unroll that. And I like to use, instead of pulling it apart, because I find when I pull it apart it stretches the dough a little too much, I like to cut it. And I usually use a pizza cutter for that, and just follow the lines, the perforations of the dough that's already there. And I just find it makes it a little bit easier, and it's not doesn't stretch out that dough as much. Now you're going to put that mixture into the crescent rolls, and you want to put a 1/4 of a cup. Now this one I had overloaded it. I was trying to see if maybe I could get a good bit in there, and this actually worked out well. I just kind of rolled it, tried to stretch out that dough a little bit, but then just rolled it up. And you want to try to make sure that the sides are sealed. You want to try to keep all of that on the inside and not seep out too much. But you can see that you just pinch the sides, and then you should have a good seal on it. Now, as I said, this one was a little, it worked out fine, but you need to have enough, and that's what I started realizing after I did that. You need to have enough of the filling to go on all the rest of the crescents. So try to make sure that you get a 1/4 of a cup. And I did take a little bit off of that one because I realized it was a little too much. But roll them up, and as I said, just seal them on the side so nothing spills out. And then you will just continue to do that for the rest of them. Now spray a baking dish with some nonstick spray and put those crescent rolls into that. Then you will take that mixture of the milk and the soup, and I do not pour it directly over the crescents because I want the crescents to have somewhat of a crust on top. Otherwise it would be soggy if I poured it completely over it. So I'm just kind of pouring it in the middle, just letting it kind of spread out on the bottom. And now once you have that done, take the Parmesan cheese and you want to just sprinkle that on top. And I sprinkle it on each of those and a pretty good bit. And then what I have left, I sprinkle it just into the soup and let that, it'll season that soup as well. Now, you also want to make sure that when you put these into that dish that they are separated, that there is a space in between each of those, so that way it has a little bit of room to expand. Put it in the oven on 350 for about 30 to 35 minutes. When it's brown on top and it's all bubbly, then it's done. And this is what it looks like when it's plated, and it really was delicious. And we just had it with some rice-a-roni, the angel hair pasta, and some broccoli. So it made a really good meal. It was filling. And next time I make this, I'm going to leave the salt out. I feel as though it wasn't overly salty, but it doesn't need it. The cream cheese and the mozzarella and the Parmesan had enough salt that will compensate for that. So I would leave the salt out next time. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in seeing more like it, please click that subscribe button and the notification bell, and that will notify you when I post new videos. I hope everyone has a blessed day, a great week ahead. God bless y'all.